also because it's just more girly, which automatically targets the female community rather than both the male and the female community. Um, Also, it has the logo seen at the top, and underneath the logo it says cheap has never looked this expensive, which shows that for a small amount of money you can get an expensive look, or just because you're spending a small amount of money doesn't mean that you won't look classy, won't look like the type of image that you want to have, or the image that you want people to view you with. The letters are bold and large and simple, in order to grab the viewer's attention automatically, rather than have them strain to read something, because if they strain to read something, they automatically usually just give up on reading it and won't even bother to look at the product, much less. Also, it's cheap has never looked this expensive, is written in more of a girly type font because it includes cursive, which also shows the feminine appeal. It also includes the address for where you can find the product and how much the product is, and the cost, which is $45. It also says with the cost that it's calling to women, because it says women of all ages. And that also states the demographic of having most ages targeted for the product. The appeals that are used in the print ad, which we just went over, are the use of a feminine type color scheme, which automatically targets the demographic of having women as the main consumers of the product. Also, it shows that women can spend their money without having to spend too much of it. So women can look their best without having to spend all their money. And that's very crucial, because to receive a high-end product, you don't always have to pay the high-end price. And the U7A14 does that. And in general, it just is a product that that the customer has the ability to change its appearance and change the type of the shoe and match it to all outfits that they can, without having to pay $40 per each shoe type or per each color that they wanted. They get all of that, and they can change it however many times they want, whenever they want, for just $45, rather than having to spend 8 times that or 10 times that for just like the shoe itself. Also, it states that the product is cheap for the quality that is given, which means that other places would sell something like that for much more than it is being sold now, because of the capabilities it has and the quality that it has. Also, the audience is told that it is worth the buy, rather than like something that they like would buy and regret buying. For the TV ad, the speaker automatically appeals to the emotional aspect the customers have, by trying to show that they too feel frustration when they can't match shoes or don't have something that matches the perfect outfit that they had planned. And in that way, they're showing empathy towards the audience. And when you establish an emotional connection with the audience, they're more likely to buy the product, because they feel like someone understands them. Also, that the TV ad addresses the woman specifically too, as well as the print ad, which shows the demographic of only women being there. The speaker also says that they feel frustrated when they can't find the shoes that they want, or the color that they want, or the style that they want, which is how many customers feel when the buying the U7A14 could solve all those problems, and that viewpoint is stressed through the video. The speaker also questions the audience by saying, why would you want anything else? So why would you want to go out and buy 7 or 8 different pairs of shoes when you can do that by using just one shoe instead. And in that way, it provokes thought from the audience, instead of them just blindly not wanting, flat out not wanting the product. The product is also described as affordable and not out of reach of any customer, because it shows multiple store locations, as well as the main one that can be found in Dallas. So for the ad fees would be found in the use of showing the ad in 2 TV networks, a magazine, and a newspaper. For the magazine, it would be used in the Cosmopolitan magazine, which is one of the leading magazines of America, and it is a magazine that mostly is shown for girls and mostly viewed by the age group that the product is meant for. Also, that magazine is including celebrities, which makes it more appealing to the viewer, because if a celebrity is featured in a magazine, which this product is also featured in, then they will be more likely to buy it because they'll have that influence based off of celebrities. So because that magazine is like viewed so often, it would be a higher price than other magazines. So because of that, it would only be viewed once a year, and it would be a single spread feature, and that would cost about $100,000. Meanwhile, in the newspaper ad, it would be the Dallas Morning News, and that brings more of a local type customer range, and people are not going to have to go out of their way to receive the product. The product is found in locations that are near them, and because they're near them, they're more likely to go receive the product, rather than have to drive miles to buy it like some people in other states would have to do. So by using that local newspaper, it would also target the older aspect of the demographic, because older people are more likely to read magazines than or to read newspapers than magazines, because magazines are mostly viewed by younger citizens. Also, that would cost around $4,698 because it's not as popular, and it would be a double page spread twice a year. So for the networks, it would be used by eFashion News Network, which is one of the leading fashion networks in America, and that would also bring in the younger females of the demographic. Since it's such a popular TV show, it would cost $2,400,000 because it would be featured during the show, and that feature would happen once each season, so 7 times a year. And Fashion One would also be used because it is a worldwide. It's a worldwide network, and it brings awareness to the products in other nations, and that would be $1,368,000 because it would be used 4 times a year. For the demographic, the ages that are targeted are ages 6 through 60, because over 60 people aren't very concerned with their fashion, and they're more concerned about other issues. And under 6, fashion isn't a big aspect because people are just learning how to walk, or shoe type doesn't differ. In between those 2 ages are where you see athletes come in and popularity come in, and if their friend has it, they want to have it too. The gender is female because females change their shoe types most often, and the socioeconomic status would be lower middle to high, because it would be a treat product that people could afford while still containing that uniqueness that would draw in the upper class members. So that is the product. I hope